very, very quickly because there's so much to say. All my speakers bring a lot of qualifications and experience to the table. Dr. Titus Udom is a dynamic sales coach, financial consultant, and seasoned entrepreneur. He's based in the UK with a rich background that blends over 2 decades of experience in the oil and gas industry, management consulting, and education. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Dr. Udom is passionate about youth empowerment, youth entrepreneurship, and improving the quality of education in underserved communities. We have that mutual interest. In 2020, he founded the Innovation Academy, where he has since trained over 500 young people in essential skills such as ICT, business, and public speaking. His dedication to empowering the next generation is reflected in his work with young entrepreneurs and his ongoing commitment to helping them unlock their full potential. Now, Dr. Udom combines his deep academic knowledge in accounting, economics, and strategic management with real-world industry experience. He holds a doctorate in development economics, an MBA from Imperial College Business School, and MSc degrees in both strategic business management and economics. As a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, he is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, if I were to be paying my speakers, I would not be able to pay them for 1 hour. No, we have to spotlight Dr. Udom, please. Thank you. My team at the bucket. The floor is yours. Thank you so much. We have 1 hour. We've had a long day. We had 2 sessions in the morning, and now we have 2 sessions here. So, but I know that people always have questions. But the time is yours to spread as you want to.
All right. So, Bimbo, thank you so very much for inviting me.
It's good to see you.
And thanks to the participants for finding time on a Friday evening to be here. It's my great privilege to share what I've learned over these years, the mistakes I've made, the successes I've also made, because we learn from both sides. You have to learn from failure, you learn from success. And I think it's even said that people learn more from failures than success. All right, so I'm very passionate about talking with young people because one thing they have that I don't have, they have time. So time is in their favor. I don't have time at all because my time is very short, you know. So you have the time, of course, you have more energy than myself, and you're living in a better world. You know, I'm just imagining if I were a teenager now, what I would have achieved. But that notwithstanding, we thank God for everything. So it's an interesting time to be alive. So what we'll be doing, I'll just share with you people for 40 minutes, and then I'll leave the other 20 minutes for Q&A. I'm not going to be teaching, so I want you to participate. I want you to contribute. We're all learning together. So quickly before we just start, so let me just check. What did you pick up from the last session? You know, I listened partly to Dr. Ayodeji. I hope I got that right. What did you pick? I personally picked some things from that session. So let me just hear. I hear that this session is mainly young people, so you have to be hungry for knowledge. So let me hear, what did you learn from the last session that just finished? All right, so I can see start early. Yeah, that's from Bimbo herself. Start early, start early. Yeah, we cannot overemphasize that. You need to start early. Start early. Be consistent. Yeah, consistency is key. In fact, it's the hallmark of success in all areas of life. Invest wisely. Yes, don't dabble into what you are not very familiar with. So knowledge is key, investing in knowledge. Diversification, yeah. You don't put your eggs in one basket. Utilize compound interest. That's key. And we're going to be talking a lot about that in this session. So use compound interest. Okay, do not keep idle cash. Yeah, invest cash. Yeah. because your cash will be going down in value over time. All right. As that is going on, thanks for your thoughts. So let me share my screen quickly. Let me share my screen. I hope you can see. Okay, so if you're seeing my screen, let me know.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So let me go back to the beginning. All right. So we're looking at building wealth with compound interest. It's quite an interesting topic. Uh, issue of wealth and compound interest is very paramount. It's foundational to building wealth because some people believe that you can just wake up and start building wealth. It takes time to build wealth. And in that journey of building wealth, compound interest is your greatest friend. Okay, so within the time we have, we want to explore how to build wealth using the 5M model, as you're going to see, and the application of compound interest. So that's what we're going to be exploring this topic using the 5M model, as I call it. So this is the outline of what we're going to be going through. So how do you measure wealth? Then we look at the mindset of the wealthy. You know, the wealthy people, the rich people have a different mindset from the poor. And I was sharing with somebody yesterday that, see, success has a mark. If you follow it, you're likely going to be successful because there's always a formula to something. So just find a way to follow that formula. You're going to get the same result, most likely. So we look at making wealth. How do you make wealth? I mean, wealth does not just fall from heaven. There's a way to making it. And then how do you, when you have made it, how do you manage it? Because the last two is really where people miss it. People can make all the money, they can throw it away the following day. And people make money and just leave it in the bank. They're not multiplying, they're not growing it. You're not going to be wealthy. To make money, if you don't grow it, if you don't multiply it, you are not going to be wealthy. You will just be comfortable, just being able to to pay your bills. But as we're looking at this uh webinar, we're not just looking at people who are comfortable paying bills. No, we're looking at people who will be able to create sustainable wealth, even transfer it to the next generation. All right, so let's keep on. So this is the 5M model I'm talking about: measuring wealth, the mindset of the wealthy, making wealth, making money, managing it, and then multiplying it. Is in that multiplication we're really going to dive deep into the power of compound interest. All right, so let me ask a question now. So when you hear of wealth or a wealthy person, what comes to your mind in terms of measuring it, the indices or indicators? What are the things that come to your mind? Let me check. So this person is wealthy. Oh, I want wealth. What is it that you're talking about? Let me see. I'm going to the chat. So we're going to be participating. So I'm checking the chat now. Uh, okay. Okay, they take risk. Okay. Money and assets, financial stability. I like that word, stability. Somebody's rich. I mean, but rich. No, so try and be specific. When you say rich, we don't still understand what does it mean to be rich. So, so what I'm saying is, what does it mean to be wealthy? What is wealth? Financial freedom. I like that. I like that. Someone who is well-to-do. What does it mean to be well-to-do? So try and be specific again. Someone that is comfortable. Okay. I think it's someone that has a lot of assets and his money is working for him without having to. I like that. I like that. Thank you so much. That is kind of financial and economically stable. All right. You have much money. Okay. But you can have much money and also have much liability. All right. It means the person has different channels which income. Yeah, so cash flow is key to being wealthy. Thank you. We're already very smart people, very smart people. Thank you so very much. So let's look at it now. Thanks for your responses. I like that. So I'm interacting with smart people. Okay, so I just put this together because I like a broad measurement of wealth. So when we say wealth, uh, you see the kind of the definition up there. There are some things I made bold. I like the word abundance. So it's not scarcity. You know, you want to buy something, you're not taking the price too much. You can afford it. And then what are the things that will generate this abundance is having assets because it's assets that generate wealth. So you have like assets are like money making machines, you know, and then all these will result in your well-being and security. So in terms of your health, in terms of your comfort, in terms of your freedom, in terms of material things, you can live where you want to live, you drive the kind of car you want to drive, you interact with the kind of people you want to interact with. So that is what I look at by being wealthy, have wealth. So let's now look deeper now in terms of the other concept. So we look at the net worth. You know, somebody say having enough money. So you can also have a lot of money, but you're also in debt. So we're looking at wealth in terms of your net worth, your assets minus liability. That is what you have that is generating money for you versus what you're owing other people. And then cash flow. Somebody also mentioned this cash flow. So you need to have things that are bringing money to you on a regular and consistent basis. So you have this cash flow, income, less expenses, what is left, that is cash flow. And then you're having financial freedom. This one is very, very important. I like this one, you know, because if you have to spend your life, your energy, your blood, your sweat to make money, you cannot say you're wealthy. You're not wealthy because if that time is taken out, then suddenly you see that you're really very poor. If you're sick, if you're incapacitated, you have an accident, or let's even assume that finally you die, that means everything ends. You cannot work again. So you need to be able to generate passive income, which will be more than your expenses such that you can be sleeping. You're not working again. You're just okay. All the assets you have acquired will now be generating income for you. And then it's also about lifestyle. You can travel anytime. You know, you don't have to go and put a leave request to your boss, please approve. I need 30 days to travel or even 15 days to travel this year. And your boss will say, no, sorry, we have some business presentation to make. You cannot go. That means you're not free. So you don't have options. You know, living here in the UK, for example, the very wealthy people, winter is coming now, November, December, January, they just take off to warm places. You know, I can't stay here and be suffering with the cold and snow. So they have options. They can actually move to other places. And of course, your health and your wellness is also part of wealth. I'm sure you have heard people say health is wealth. So these are some of the things I look at when you say somebody is wealthy. You know, they relax. You look at the couple there by the seaside, they're just having a chill time, a good time. You know, I'm just imagining that their investment making money, they're making money online. People are buying their digital products. So they don't have to be there or they have employees somewhere making money for them. So they can afford to go for 1 month or 2 months holiday. Worst case, they will be monitoring what is happening offshore somewhere. All right. So that's it. Please, if you have any comment or question, just put in the chat. Or better if because I'm not going to be able to monitor the chat. So you put your questions at the end of our time. All right. So uh now we're looking at mindset because I didn't just want to jump straight talk about the calculation of compound interest because mindset is very important because this is what differentiates the rich from the poor. But before we go there, let me check what messages do you hear about money or wealthy people at home or in your culture, in your environment, or even in your church or in your mosque? What are those things you hear about money or the wealthy people? Let me see in the chart. Some people say, money does not grow on a tree. Some people say, the rich people are wicked. Let me see in the chart. What are some of those things you hear about money? The mindset, because your mindset is going to drive your action. Your action is going to determine your result at the end of it. Money is the root of all evil. Hey, that's the common one. Apostle Paul was writing to young Timothy. Money answers all things. Yeah, they will hardly make heaven. He say rich people will not make heaven. So that's a limiting mindset. If rich people will not make heaven, then why are you struggling to be rich? You cannot get what you hate. I say that again. You cannot get what you hate. That's it. Money solves a lot of problems. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Uh, the wealthy keeps getting wealthier. Yes, because they know how to multiply their money. These are some of the mindset. Money answers, or money is power. Yeah. Money changes people's negatively, which is false anyway. You know, I went to church on Sunday, and the Bible passage we read was in Genesis chapter 13, verse 2. Because it baffles me when Christians have a negative mindset about money. Say, no, I don't want to get too much money, so that I will not backslide. I don't want to leave God. But the Bible said that Abraham then was very rich. Please take note. After now, go and read it. The Bible says Abraham, before his name was changed, was very rich in what? In silver and gold and cattle, because that was the unit of measuring wealth as at that time. So if you want to be wealthy, you need to have a mind shift. You need to change your mindset and have a positive mindset. All right. So what is mindset? It's a person's attitude or way of thinking that influences their perceptions, their belief, their behavior. Because your mindset is going to determine your attitude, and that will drive your behavior, which will also affect your action. And then at the end, it will determine whether you'll be successful or you're going to be a failure. Uh, this lady wrote an interesting book on mindset, growth mindset, Carol Dweck. So you can look for it and buy. So she spoke about fixed and growth mindset. There are some people, if you give them uh, a glass of water, some people will say maybe you put it at the middle, you fill water to the middle. Some will say this glass is half empty. Others will say it's half full. So but the people that say it's half full, they're having a good mindset. You're seeing it from the positive light. But some people always find negativity in everything because they are limited in their belief. So for you to make money, I will encourage you to have a growth mindset. So this is fixed mindset, growth mindset. Uh, I'm sure Bimbo will share this slides later on. So let's move on now. So uh, the money mindset you need to have if you want to be wealthy. We have, like I've said, two kinds of mindset: the poor, the scarcity. Some people say that the money is evil. Like some of us wrote that money is evil. It's difficult. It's difficult to get money. Nobody has been rich in our family. They just feel. I had to put that in bold. For the poor, every money that comes in, they want to spend. They want to spend. They want to wear designers clothes, designers shoe to impress people that they don't know, impress people that don't care about them. But the wealthy, how to impress anybody, care about designers dress. Their goal is to make sure they multiply and grow their money. Money is for investment. That's it. It's not for expenses. Because as we're going to see later on when we calculate compound interest, that £10 today is not going to be the same £10 in 20 years. It's going to be what, close to 1,000 or more. So before you spend that £10, look at it in the future. What is the opportunity cost of spending this money? what can this money become in future for me? All right. So, like I said, we need to have a change in our mindset if we want to be wealthy. Okay. So these are some of the poor mindset people have. Some people that cannot afford it, you know, rich people are greedy, rich people are wicked, especially in our own environment in Nigeria. You always see every rich man that maybe stole money from government or from dubious means. That reminds me one day back then in Nigeria, I parked my car and one of this guy, he came and said, look at Nigerian money that we have used to buy this car. I said, what are you saying? I bought this car with my money. I worked hard for it. So for such people, you see somebody drive a nice car, live in a nice neighborhood, you always feel that there's no way this person can be rich. He stole this money, he did something. Some people may even believe in money ritual. I mean, of superstition. There's nothing like that. So we need to change the mindset. Always believe that even though you cannot afford it now, you think of how can I afford it? You're looking at the possibility. How can I grow my money with discipline? I want to use money to help other people because if you don't give, you're not going to grow. If you're always wanting to hold back, you want to hold back, that means you're having a scarcity mindset. You believe that if you give out this one, you're going to be poor. All right, so let's talk about making money, because like we say, money will not just drop from heaven. You need to do something to earn money. Uh, so for young people here, let me hear from you. How do you want to make money as you're growing up? How do you want to make money? Tell me, how do you want to make money? How do you want to make money? Let me see in the chat. Investment. Take the time. Investment. Okay, investing in more assets. Okay, our time is ticking now. Business. Okay, I like that. Legitimately, yeah. I will make money through self-development. Yeah, you need to invest in yourself, giving value and so I like that. Esther Oyeleke, thank you so very much for that. Entrepreneurship, more assets over liability. Yes. Yeah, uh so I'll just having different channels of income flows. All right, so let's just talk briefly about this making money. So you see the 3S model I talk about here. Money is made when you solve a problem. So you're solving problem using your skill to find solution for specific people, right? Because even if you're employed, that means you're selling your time, you're selling your skill for money. So you can see that the 3S in this Venn diagram at the center will turn to money. That's why, as young people, you need to think of skills you can develop. You know, I was telling somebody the other day that we're living in an interesting time that if you have access to power, you have access to a computer, and you have access to internet, you don't have any reason to be poor in the 21st century. In 2025, you cannot be poor because there are a lot of free skills you can learn on the internet that can make you money. In fact, even if you don't go to the university, you can be making money. Or even if you're enrolled in any course, while you're in the school, you can be making money through your skill, finding solution for people. So yeah, like Esther said, solving problem, that is the way to make money. All right. So you see, in this world, for you to be wealthy, you have to sell something. You have to be a seller. You're selling products, you're selling your service, or you're selling your experience, you're selling content. I'm sure you can see young people selling digital products, content creation on YouTube and the TikTok. They are making money. So what are you waiting for? Find a skill you can learn now, and you can learn it for free in the digital space. There are so many areas you can involve yourself in because you need to make money before you can multiply it. And anybody telling you otherwise, you're just lying. If you don't earn it, you cannot grow it. That's it. All right. So let's make progress. So people can be employees, can self-employ, and they can be a business owner, you can be an investor. So these are another way of looking at it. So you can make money passively, you can make money actively. But remember, if you want to be wealthy, you need financial freedom. Wealthy people don't sell their time for money. They make their money to work for them so that you can be free. You remember that picture, the couple in the beach, you can relax. When your money starts working for you, you have time freedom. You can go on holiday. Your business will be on, your investment, your real estate, your content you created, as people watch it, you'll be making money. So, and then you have that freedom. That's the stage you can be. So you have enough passive income that will be able to make and be over your expenses. Some people say that you need to have up to 2, 3 times passive income to meet your expenses before you can really say you're financially free. All right. Okay. So let's talk about managing money now. So let me see. If I give you £100, what are you going to do with it? How do you want to spend this money? Just like a gift. I gave you £100. Let me see. Because again, your answer will be driven by your mindset, going to be driven by your goal, what you want to become in future. So let's see now. What will you do with £100? And by the way, how much is uh £100? That's over 200,000 naira, right? I trade it. Okay, I buy a digital camera. Okay, so that means you're going to invest. Want to start a business? Invest into a business. What kind of business? I buy a digital camera. I trade it. What are you going to be trading on? Okay, I will invest 80% of the money. I like that. But as we're going to see, you need to be careful of what you're investing in. I'll invest 30%. Okay, you spend 30%. I invest big time in business and my education. Yeah, self-education and self-investment is very key. I will either invest in money market or stock market. All right, so money market, of course, I hope you understand the risk involved. You can make more money, you can also lose everything. All right, I'm a practicing photographer, so you invest it to expand your business, right? I'll buy shares with 60% of the money and use the remaining. All right, invest in stock. Thanks. So I'm happy that we have ideas on how to multiply or invest this money. Okay, so let's see now. What do we typically use money for? So these are the four broad areas that we use money for. So we invest our money, we save it, we spend it on living expenses, and then we also share. So these are the four broad areas that people spend their money on. So again, I can't really sit down here. People have, okay, invest 70%, 20%, 10%. But again, that depends on your take home, your disposable income. So if your disposable income is high enough, you can't be spending 70%. What are you eating? What kind of clothes are you wearing? So it will depend on your disposable income. All right. Okay. We're making progress. So this is just to tell us to be disciplined, uh, have a budget, because like I said, it's not enough to make money. If you don't manage this money, if you don't know what you're spending on, the money will just go. If you're not investing. So you need to, as a young person, make sure that you live within your means. Where below your means and income. You don't want to impress anybody. No, you're not. I mean, you just want to make sure you settle your financial future. So those are some of the points I'll put out there. So think value, not just the price. Look at value. Uh, it's not enough to buy cheap and then the thing will spoil tomorrow and you have to buy again. and then you don't buy on impulse. You don't want to just impress people around you. All right, so those are some of the points in managing money. Of course, by this time, I believe you already know the differences between needs and wants. You don't just spend on wants. Look at the things that are really critical, and so that you will have enough money to invest. Take note, the rich people, they see money as a means for investment. But the poor people, they always want to spend money. They want to look. I mean, it's like, when I think about it, it's like, because they are poor, they feel that if they wear the best dresses, it's going to elevate their status in the society. Not necessarily so. Uh, and then you don't have, allow people to pressure you. There's a wedding ceremony, you need to buy the ashwebi. I mean, what is it? You don't have to. Because if you have a goal, you know that all the money coming in, you need to account for it. You need to invest, find something to invest, no matter how your income is. Okay, so let's talk about the big one now, so that we'll have time. Uh, Multiplying money, that's the big one now. Mention different ways you can multiply money, different assets you can use to multiply money. Let's see. How do you really multiply this money? Tell me. I will use it to trade. Okay, so people are typing in now. So when we say multiplying money, what are the avenue? What kind of assets? Because it is the assets you acquire today that will give birth to children, to grandchildren, to great grandchildren, and then at some point you will now relax. It is that your asset that will be working for you. Because if you think of it, 60 years, like in Nigeria, 67 years or thereabout in the UK, the company will tell you, come on, you're old, go home and rest. You don't have energy again. And so if you have not created assets that will generate constant flow of income, then you're going to be miserable in your old age. And it's not God's will for you to be miserable in your old age. So that's why where financial freedom comes in, real estate, farming, food processing. I mean, again, don't know. I'm not discouraging anybody food processing, but I know production is really tough in Nigeria with power issues and all that. So when you're thinking of investment, don't just think of what you're passionate about. Think of what the market is looking for, what is in demand, what problem are you going to solve for the majority of people, that people will be willing to pay you a good amount of money. Okay, Taiwo, gold and houses. Yeah, so gold is like a security, real estate, capital appreciation. You need to know how you're investing. Is it commercial? Is it residential? You need to think of replacement, repairs, and struggling with tenants. All right, having a retirement account, high yield savings account, and real estate. Yeah, so these are all the things. Uh, I'm sure the previous speaker must have mentioned some of the avenues which you can use to multiply your money. But let's dive into compound interest, which is, so these are some of the methods: savings, investment, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. You set up your business, entrepreneurship. You created digital assets. You've written a book. You have created a content. These are all ways of multiplying your money. I will emphasize that one of the ways you can really multiply is creating passive income, such that you don't need to be there. Your money will now be the one working for you using the power of compound interest. All right, so this is just trying to tell what's the difference between savings and investment. Savings, you just putting the money aside with little or no interest guaranteed uh, on your investment. And then investing, you're really trying to see how to grow this money. Of course, it involves a level of risk. Take note, investment involves risk. And like they've always said, past performance is not a guarantee for future performance. You can grow your money, you can lose your money. Inflation can wipe away your money. If you are not investing in a stable currency, your money can be devalued. You just sit down, no fault of yours. Nominally, you may think you're making money, but if, for example, inflation is at 23% and you're getting a return of 15%, you're actually losing money in real terms. All right. So those are some of the pitfalls you need to watch out. So what are the tips of savings? We have been saying it here. You have time on your side. Start early and be consistent. Start early and be consistent. Discipline is key. It rewards over time. Cannot overemphasize that. Okay, so let's see. Yes, this is the big topic of the day, interest. You know, Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. If you understand it, you're going to benefit from it. But if you don't, definitely you are going to pay. You're going to pay. Maybe you're borrowing money, you're going to pay. So I believe we all understand what interest is. When you borrow money in the bank or any other financial institution, they will ask you to pay a return. Or if you give money to the bank or any investment house, you will also expect a return from them. So it works both ways. All right. So most of us are familiar with simple interest. So the interest is principal times rate times time. So let's say you have £100 at the interest of 10% per annum over 1 year. So you see that that interest will be what? What will it be? So because you need to start talking numbers. So we're going to be talking numbers for the rest of the session now. So quickly, these are elementary levels. You invested £100 at the interest rate of 10% per annum for the year, and you have left that money in the bank for 1 year. So at the end of the 1 year, how much will your money be worth? Quick, this is primary 6 mathematics now. So put in the chat, put in the chat. How much would it be worth? Feel very free. I mean, even if it's wrong, just feel free. We're interacting, we're learning. So you have £100. Okay, interest is £10. So it's simple. So at the end of the period, you have £110. So yeah, that is easy, simple, simple. All right. Okay. Next now, so now we're moving to compound interest. Compound interest. For you to understand the basics, it's as simple that your interest will be earning another interest if you don't withdraw the previous interest, the interest in the previous period. So we said that compound interest is calculated on the principal, that's the original amount, and on the interest already earned in the previous period. Simple. So take note of what we have calculated before now. £100, interest of 10% for 1 year. We've all agreed in the chart that we're going to be earning £110 at the end of year 1. Okay, this is where it's getting interesting now. So using the formula or just simple mathematics. So at the end of year 2, what will be the interest? What will be the interest at the end of year 2? Let me see in the chart. What will be the interest at the end of year 2? Let me see. What will be the interest, the compound interest? So I'm specifying it now. So at the end of year 1, we've already earned £110. We're not withdrawing the principal. We're not withdrawing the interest. So what will be the interest that we're going to earn at the end? I mean, only year two, the next year, not cumulatively, just for the second year. Okay, Legend is saying the interest will be 121 pounds, 11 pounds, collar 11 pounds. I just mean the interest for year two alone. 11,000 pounds. Oh, yeah, I like your optimism. Okay. I'm confused. Okay, sorry. So let me take it again, so that we are clear. We started in year one, and you need to understand these principles. Very simple. So we started in year one with 100 pounds, and the rate of interest is 10% per year, and we leave that money for 1 year. We all agree that at the end of year one, we're going to earn interest of 10 pounds, and our total money will become 110 pounds. I believe that one is clear. Okay, the next thing is that we are not touching that money at all. We are leaving it there in the bank. We're not touching the previous interest of 10 pounds. Neither are we touching the 100 pounds. So we leave the 110 there in the bank. The question is, how much interest are we going to earn for the second year alone? I don't mean cumulative interest. For the second year alone, how much interest? So I can see a lot of correct answer. It is 11 pounds. So can you see something? So how come? So I'm going to ask another simple question now. Why is it that we're now earning 11 pounds in year one, in year two, whereas we're earning 10 pounds in year one? Very simple question. So, because when you understand this concept, then life becomes easy. Because year two, our principal is 110. Yes. Because the amount has increased, because it's compounded. Legend, you're speaking big grammar for us now. I want to run away from the compounding. So we're looking for simple, basic way that a 10-year-old can understand. Yeah, because we didn't withdraw it. Yes, because a year principal is 110, interest on 10 pounds is 1 pound. I like that answer. Caller, interest on 10 pounds is 1 pound. That's it. So what it means is that in year two, we're not only making money from the 100 pounds, we're also making money from the 10 pounds year one interest. That is the key that you're looking at now. And let's see now. So we're making progress. So put in the chat, how much money do we have at the end of year two? Put in the chat so that you're going to use that money. Because both year one and two interest profit are now together. Yes, they are now together. All right. So let's see. How much money are we having at the end of year two? So it's correct. We're having 121 pounds. Okay, let's calculate again. How much interest are we going to make at the end of year three? How much will it be at the end of year three? What will be interest only for that year three? What will be interest be? All right. Okay, correct, Legend. It is 12.1. So can you see the impact of the interest you're earning on the interest as you leave it? So this is the foundation of compound interest, that you're earning interest not just on the principal, but you're also earning interest on interest. All right. So this is the formula again. I think we've done something. You can now use this formula to calculate it over the years. So for so many years. So the present value, the interest raised to power of n, where n is the period. Of course, you can after now look at the literature and how to calculate. So there are different scenarios. Maybe you're investing monthly or yearly. So you can check and see how this works. I created a table here to see the difference between simple interest and compound interest. So, but look at the magic here, the second section. If you started with 10,000 pounds, at the end of, so 10,000 pounds at interest rate of 5%, it means without doing anything, just leaving the money in there, your money will become 16,000 pounds after 10 years at the rate of 5%. Can you see that? This is how wealthy people keep getting rich. You know, somebody said the rich keep getting richer. So this is 100,000. Just imagine the person invested 100 million pounds. So at the end, the person will get 160 million pounds at the end of 10 years. So this is the power of compound interest. But it gets more interesting. Okay, so it gets more interesting. I'm going to copy this for you to try, and then we'll demonstrate it and see. So let me copy this and put in the chat, and then you can play around with it. This is the compound interest table. So you click that website and let's see the calculation, what that will show us. Okay, I'm there. So this is the table. This is the table. So what we're saying is that with time, discipline, and consistency, you can become wealthy. You can actually become wealthy. I believe you are still seeing my screen. Please confirm, are you seeing the compound interest calculator? Somebody can
Yes,
unmute and
it's in the
speak.
chat box.
No, I'm sharing my screen. I opened that website. Are you seeing it?
No, we're seeing just your slide. You have to
Okay,
maybe.
okay. So let me share. I was sharing only a section. Okay. So, but I believe if you have opened the site, you can start trying it on your own. So, but let me share it, and then we can begin to appreciate the power of compound interest. Yeah, I believe you can see now. So let's assume somebody started investing. Just you put aside $1,000, and then you're adding how much? Let's say you're investing $200 every month. That means 2,400 annual addition. So let's be conservative. You're growing it at 8%. By the way, the US SPM 500, that is looking at the total stock of the biggest 500 companies in the US stock exchange, returns about 10 to 11% per annum on the average. I mean, of course, some years it may go up and down, but in the last 50 years, that has been the return. So let's assume you're putting your money there. So let's use the 10%, but it's being optimistic. So let's assume you are buying the SP and 500. Please take note, this is not financial advice. It's just for education that we're doing this. All right. Okay. So it's going to grow for 20 years. Let's use 20 years. All right. No, I'll try something. We start 10 years first. At the rate of 10%, interest compounds once annually. So let's see. So can you see the power of compounding? So at the end of 10 years, at 10%, you're putting 200, let's say 2,400 every year. You're going to have $44,000. So you're not doing anything. You're just being disciplined about investing. Okay. This is for 10 years. But let's see now. Let's add another 10 years to grow. So we'll leave it here for the next 10 years. Watch the result. 157. I mean, can you see the massive growth? 157, if you leave it. Because what happened is that you're compounding on the 44 over time. You're not just compounding on the 1,000 that you started with. You're compounding on the 44 pounds. Okay, so we're doing that for 20 years. Let's assume, leave it there for the next 30 years. Just imagine you have a child that is born. It's okay, I'll be saving $200 for this my child until his or her 30th birthday. This is what you will get, the power of compounding just before us. So this is what you're doing for the child. Nothing more. You just, for example, buying SP 500, S&P 500, returning 10% for 30 years. Look at the rate of growth. This is $451,000, almost close to $500,000. Just this. So this is how the rich people continue to be rich. So I repeat again, you need consistency. You need to start early because time is your greatest friend now. Consistency and of course, discipline. Play around with that website. I believe you have it now. So we just needed to do this. We have 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So in the last 10 minutes, I'm just going to wrap up now to share my final thoughts. And then we give 10 minutes for Q&A. Okay, so let me just share this so that we take note. And these thoughts are very, very important. We're saying that the purpose of earning money is to grow it, to multiply, not just to pay bills. The poor people, they see money as a tool to pay bills, pay your rent, buy food, nice dresses, the latest iPhone, the latest shoe. It makes them happy, but then they're not going to have financial independence. The other thing is that don't just work for money. Make money to work for you because that's when you will have future security. Invest on things you understand. Don't allow people to come with fancy ideas, buy this stock, buy this one. You just hear, you have not researched, you have not checked up, you have not asked questions, you just use your heart. And it's not easy to earn money. So you now use your heart, earn money you earn with your blood and your sweat, and then invest in something that will just vanish into thin air. Of course, I've lost money as a person before in the stock market. I've also made money, but then it's your ability to understand the market that will determine whether you can make money. All right. This other one, invest in a stable currency to avoid devaluation of your asset. Because what has happened to many Nigerians in the last 3 years is mind-blowing. I mean, I personally have lost a lot of money, So because we invested in a currency that was not stable. All right. And then you're not sure because one of the characteristics of money is about stability. And then we'll talk about starting early and being consistent, and then the need for diversification. I'm going to stop here because I just have just 9 minutes for Q&A. All right. Thank you so very much. Nice having this chat. I hope you have gained something from this session. All right. So, Bimbo, I'm still here to take some questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Titus. Thank you very much. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please help me celebrate my speaker in the chat box. Yes. Yeah, can you stop sharing, please?
Okay.
Thank you. I
thank
know,
you.
We said earlier on in the daytime that time is money. And so we know by sharing your time with us this evening, you have actually given us money. You have given us what will translate to money down the road. Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. We have very little time to take some questions. So I'll go quickly to the question box, but I do have one question for you quickly. I know you lived in Nigeria and you worked in Nigeria and then now you're living abroad. So when you're looking at both environments in the UK and Nigeria, if for the young ones around the call now, the conclusion of the teaching is that when we invest, we should leave it for some time so that the income that we're getting from what we have invested continues to multiply itself. Just from your experience, what are possible opportunities for young people to invest in Nigeria or in the UK? And, like you already gave the warning, we're just teaching here. We're not giving financial advice. I know that people abroad are always very careful to give that warning, so we understand that. But, just chat with us. We had a session with Dr. Ebo earlier on, but it's always good when participants hear the same thing or similar things from, different people. Just opportunities that.
Okay. Yeah. So, without going into any specific asset or instrument, of course, when you're investing there, the last speaker talked about fundamentals. So if you want to, for example, you go into stock market, what are these people selling? What is their track record? What is their earning potential, right? And then again, you also look at the socio-political dynamics around, how is the country you're investing in, how is it being run? So you need to spread your investment across different sectors, across geographies. Like we said, you don't put all your money in one country. You don't put all your money in one currency. If something happened, somebody was sharing, okay, I was watching one YouTube, somebody that invested all his money in Ukraine. And then look at what is happening in that
the war
space.
started, yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the things you be mindful of. Investment has risk, it has return. Like we hear high risk, high return. So you need to be watchful about that. But having said that, I think there's one particular asset class that stands the test of time, which is real estate. Uh, because apart from the fact that you can see your house and touch it with your hand, but the capital appreciation is there, and then it can also generate cash flow over a long period of time. Uh, it's not being managed by some cowboy somewhere that may run the company aground. Some of us are still reeling with the pains of the market crash of 2008. Some of the companies, they have gone down below because of all corporate governance. So that's the advice I would give in terms of the dimensions, the parameters of investing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. I'm trying to combine looking at the commentary and the questions and then stay focused on you. Engineer, okay. I will come to you very soon, but I want to ask Dr. Titus another question. So real estate, thank you for mentioning real estate. I just wanted the people around the call, some of them are very young, and we're just teaching them ahead of when they get the opportunities that they have to keep their eyes on the opportunity to invest in real estate. But we do also have some seniors here, and even the commentary box, even for the young ones, is bubbling with people excited at the thought of investing in real estate. What are 3 key things that you would want anybody investing in real estate to be careful about?
Okay, there are key things to watch out when you're going to real estate. Number 1 is location. I think it's always location.
You spoke my mind.
So if you go to the village, I mean, if I go to buy land now, go to my village, build a house, I mean, what's the worth of that house? After all, it's the same amount of money I'm going to spend building the house. The only difference is the cost of the house. So what is the return I'm going to get? The other thing you need to look at is title. For some of us that are aware of, when I read news about Lagos State, I think they publish over 160 estates that
yes.
are not registered. Okay, you're building on drainage, they pulled down. In fact, one of my colleagues' house was actually pulled down somewhere in Lagos. So you need to make sure you're dealing with the right people, uh, getting the right title. Because I mean, it's very painful investing so much millions of naira and then you're not sure of the title. I mean, without talking about most of that thing, I think those if you get those two right, you're almost okay. The other thing will be, yeah, it's covered by the other thing is the type of real estate you're going into, you know. So we'll talk about location, we'll talk about title, and then we'll talk about the type. Are you gonna is it residential? You'll be struggling with the tenants that will take you to court and still live in your house free for 5, 10 years while you're battling in the court. I will not do that. So those are the things you need to watch
Thank
out
you
for.
very much for sharing. It's always interesting to discuss with people who have lived in Nigeria and then who are now living abroad because they have experienced both worlds and they're able to, have a balance of using the correct sense of the lessons you've learned in Nigeria and then coming to the Western world knowing how to deal with things. Indeed, location, 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 location. Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. Now, you talked about uh, your session today dwelt on how we can start early and the things we should do. And if I hear you very well, it's better for people to start saving and investing and building wealth early. So you take your pains when you're still young. I like the fact that you said that at some point, well, I guess you were using the UK age. I don't know what the age is now for us in Nigeria. I think it's well, it depends on the the ministry, if it's government that you're working for. I think the legal people they get to 70. I think the professors are allowed to get to 70. But be it
Yeah.
60, 65, 70, at some point you have to stop working for someone, and at some point you have to stop working for yourself. So you're saying we start early. Make our sacrifices now so that we can build that passive income opportunities that you talked about. Please help me speak to the people around the call about the place of mentoring and coaching in ensuring that they achieve the objective that you have just shared with us this evening. Investing early, building wealth early. What's the place of mentoring and coaching?
So when I talk to my children, I'm just like assuming I had this kind of opportunity, I don't know what I would have become. Assuming even as an adult, I attended this seminar I presented today, I would have avoided some of the mistakes I made. Do you understand? So the place of mentoring, education, it cannot be overemphasized because you need to invest in yourself. Knowledge is key. So when I see people lazing about wasting time on TikTok and watching cats dancing, I'm just like, do you have a future? So you need to invest, get close to people. Big boys, there's some I mean, if you want me, I can mentor you. I mean, I can talk to you because I'm all about making sure that young people in Nigeria and in the diaspora, you don't just survive. You need
You
to succeed,
excel.
to thrive. God did not create you to just struggle because there's abundance, there's wealth in the world. And I was telling my wife, the money you need is in somebody's hand, right? So you need to decide now to have the pain. So there are two pains you cannot avoid. The first is the pain of discipline now.
Mm.
If you don't want that pain of discipline, then be ready for the pain of regret. But you cannot avoid the two. So why not
One will
just
come.
exactly? So because when I see 70-year-old men cooking truck, I'm just saying, God, something went wrong in the life of this man. So for young people, my message for you is to learn, invest your time well because time is everything. You know, don't waste your time. Don't be distracted. There's enough distraction growing up. I mean, I didn't have access to television. No, there was no internet. You can't even have say so. But use those things to your advantage now, not a source of disadvantage or distraction. So that's what I would say. Get close to people. belong to communities, whether online or real time. There is no excuse for failure in this time, right? So let me also add, even if you're going to university, be sure of what you are studying, or if you whatever you're studying, make sure you invest in developing other skills, especially in the digital world. So that would be my advice. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Udom. I have a question, and you might be, well, I'll read it to you because it's a UK-specific question, and I hope that we'll be able to help Esther Oyeleke. So she says, please, doctor, I have a problem with the UK pension system. The interest rate is usually too high when you want to make withdrawal, even though the regulation says the first 15% is tax-free and the remaining will be subject to tax. My major challenge is that if you decide to leave, you cannot withdraw it. If not, you'll be charged hugely. But then you get automatically enrolled as an employee. If one decides to opt out, that means you don't have any pension savings. The question is, what other options can one explore in this case? Or do you think it's okay to be enrolled in the pension scheme in the UK?
Okay. I may not understand the particular detail because there are different pension schemes. But so, for example, if you work in the civil service, you can choose to join the government pension, or you do your private arrangement, right? So, but what I will also advise people, you can max on that pension. You can have your uh, voluntary savings, kind of a additional pension for yourself, which will actually reduce your tax payment directly, additional voluntary contribution. So they will send that money to another asset management company managing that pension separately for you until maybe you reach the age of 55 where you can now withdraw. But the beauty of that is that it actually helps you to reduce your tax payment. So in terms of the particular details, maybe we can talk about it outside this call with the person.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
going to say so. Yes, doctor, thank you so much. So, Madam Esther Oyeleke, please send an email to financecoachbk@gmail.com. Dr. Titus would share with us, and we can also explore other people that are friends of this community, and we can all put heads together to understand the specifics of your circumstance and give you, steer you towards other opportunities. But I agree with Dr. Titus. It's good to have alternative or supplementary pension systems for yourself. I say supplementary because, like you said, if you can sacrifice early when you've started on a job and having a savings in another scheme, it always always helps you when you get to retirement eventually. Yeah, we will take that offline, and I like the question though, and I like that we can take it further outside here. Quickly, Dr. Titus, somebody says, we'll be wrapping up in 5 minutes because we have sessions tomorrow evening. Somebody says, a medical student has 200,000 in his account and has no idea what to do with it. It's not owing anybody, it just has the 200,000. What can he or what can they do with 200,000? Does anything come to mind immediately? Otherwise, we take it outside the call.
Yeah, so what I would just say is you can buy some securities, right? For example, even without thinking so much, risk-free, you can buy treasury bills, right? Uh, there are some investment companies within Nigeria that also issue USD securities, which they will give some interest at the end of the year. So that can earn you some passive income.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. You've done excellently well, and I do understand your schedule, and I understand what you have sacrificed to be with us this evening. We're very grateful. I'm always excited, and I say I'm a favored person because all my partners for these workshops, they are all people who believe in God and they fear God. So apart from being consultants and experts in their areas of field, they also have the God factor. And you could see that the God factor came into the conversations of Dr. Titus all through. It was just remaining for him to say we should do praise and worship. He tried his best to interject with scriptures and all of that. So thank you very much. I think at some point, maybe when your schedule permits, because I do know your story of how you built yourself up and that, and how you got to where you are now, it would be a very exciting story to share with young people to motivate them. I think it was in 2022 or 2023, I can't remember. We had Dr. Okoha who came to share his experience of how he made his first 1 million naira as a student. He's also a doctor now in the United Kingdom, and his story is so inspiring. We have it on our YouTube channel. So I know your story too. You probably think I don't know it, but I know your story, and I know how you worked on yourself, to become a big man, to excel in the oil and gas sector, and then you took your retirement, and now you're having a second go at now earning foreign currency. And so it would be a story that would be very interesting to share at some point. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you. There are some questions in the chat box. I just want to share again with people what we will have tomorrow and next tomorrow. Allow me to share quickly before we call it quits for today. Option. Yes. So tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to have 2 sessions. We'll start at 4 p.m. Nigerian time with Shayo talking to us about credits and debt management. And then Engineer Nii and a special guest will be talking to us about building passive income, tips and opportunities for individuals, businesses, and entrepreneurs. For Engineer Nii's session, he's going to share tips with us, and then our special guest, Mrs. Bolanle Tayojo, who in her daytime is an engineer, just like Engineer Nii, but has a side hustle, which is giving her passive income. She's going to come and share her experience. And for people who are aiming to be the winner of our star prize this year, it might be good to listen to our story so that when you're putting your case together and your proposal together for eligibility for a star prize, you would know what to do. On Sunday, we would have Dr. Charity talk to us about stock investing program for adults. And hers is another testimony. When she told me what she's making from the stock market, I was blown away. And then we have a wrap for this year's workshop with Dr. Theo Bofini talking to us about how this wealth, this money that we're talking about building, how do we preserve and how can we protect our wealth and how can we plan for the future? Dr. Theo will have that conversation with us tomorrow. So we have had a very good day. We started in the morning. We had 2 models. We had Coach Mata talk to the students, and I introduced financial freedom and financial fitness. And this evening, we've had Dr. Ebo and Dr. Udom. Now, courtesy of Cardinal Stone, our star prize is seed fund for someone to start their side hustle. And what's more important than the money is the offer of a 1-year business mentoring and finance coaching for whoever wins. And then we have 5 consolation prizes for other, entrepreneurs who may not be the winner of the star prize. And they also will be opportunity to have business mentoring and finance coaching. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of the program today. If anybody wants to say something, we have officially finished for today, but if you have comments, you can put in the chat box or raise your hand up and I can open the mic for you to speak. Engineer Nii, do you have any comments? I tried to unmute you at some point. Hello, sir. You're muted if you're trying to speak. Okay. Yes, Gabrielle, thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this. And I see some faces that were in the morning session, and I'm so grateful to you for being part of this, and I congratulate you because it's not easy to pull yourself and be deliberate about these things. Do you want to speak, Christy Ebibilem? Let's hear what you have to say.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Please, I'm saying, can we have a WhatsApp group?
Okay.
And what about that?
Go on.
And how far with that 500 star? How can you register and get to win?
Okay, we're gonna go to our our Instagram page and our Facebook page. The details will be posted, pasted there shortly for registration, and then for you to understand what you need to, how you need to put your proposal together. Thank you for being part of this. Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Okay, Michael. Ade Digitaiwo, you have a question for Mr. Titus. Do I have your hand up? Yes, Michael, please.
Yes, I want to say a very big thank you to you for this, for putting this together. Even though this is my first time of, I got the link through Dr. Ebo on his platform, and I decided to take advantage of that. And it's really been mind-blowing, to say the least, the package you have actually put together. Thank you very much for this kind of opportunity. And again, just want to encourage the younger ones to actually, embrace this, follow the footsteps, and I'm sure they're not going to regret it. And I'm sure they're not going to regret it at the end of the day. But I have a quick question.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that I didn't get to talk when Dr. Ebo was around.
Okay.
I'm in diaspora, and I spent all my life training my children and all that. This kind of opportunity did not come for us to be able to blend, the two together, your side and the children's side. So a lot have gone into the children's life, training them. All what you are making has been, spent on the children. Now that they are getting out of college and all of that, there's nothing left behind. Age is no longer on one side. What can I do? That's my question.
Thank you very much, Michael. I like the honesty. I like the genuinity behind the question. Dr. Titus, do you want to take a go at this? So retirement planning, looking ahead, yeah?
Yeah, you may be tempted to say, okay, I don't have time again. No, but there's still a lot you can do. So far you are alive and you are ready to learn, you can still do something, you can still develop yourself, right? So let me even start, so we're living in the digital world. That experience you have, I'm sure you have gathered a lot of experience over this time. You can tell your story. You never can tell. You just tell your story on the media. People will watch. And then before you know it, you can build a community, you can make something out of it, right? So that's one. Two, you can still learn a skill now and monetize it and make money, right? Still learning, because for me, for example, I did accounting. I mean, Bimbo was my colleague, for many years. So I just said, sorry, I'm not going to live my life like this. I left, so. And then I started learning marketing. I started learning marketing because I realized that that is the root of business, right? So you want to do any business, you want to do anything, you need to know how to put your product out there for people. So there are still, I mean, digital marketing, there are skills you can still learn to share and teach other people, right? Even in active business, where you are, where you stay, what can you do? Assuming you're in the UK, in the real estate space, there's still some area you can still play. So far, you're ready to learn and understand the market. So, I mean, from rent to service accommodation, rent to Airbnb, there are different aspects, you know. So the bottom line is that is for you look at your skill sets. I don't know what you have been doing over this year. So let's assume you were an employee and you have worked for this number of years in that area. Now you are more or less like an expert. So can you now see how to create something, a small business, based on your experience in that area over the years? Do you understand? So I don't know your background. We can talk about it, you know, but
Yeah.
I assume that you have garnered so many years of experience that you can create something for yourself. I mean, that's typically what people do. You know, people work in oil and gas, and before you know, maybe like a reservoir engineer, they set up a technical advisory company for other oil and gas entities. So that would be my advice, because we have not met to understand further detail. But in general terms, I think these are things that can work for you. I don't know whether that has been helpful for you.
Very, very, very helpful, Dr. Titus. And you see, one of the things I always encourage people to do is when we have things like this, do register, because then you have a connection with the community. Some people might have joined by just getting the link to join, but when you register, then your identity is known. The first thing, I want to congratulate him because he's been very genuine and honest. Now, if we understand outside this call, please send an email and we will take it further, because like Titus has said, the opportunity is there. There's so many things you can do. There's so many things you can do. What appears to be maybe you think is lost time is actually seed that you can turn into a product. And we can steer you towards people who can handhold you to get it done. We have some partners like the gentleman who is going to help us mentor the business, the entrepreneurs. We can help you. And we do this for free. When it gets to where you want to incorporate your business in whichever location you are at, then you will pay your money. But the one that we can give to you to help you take the first step forward, we will give to you. So please do send us an email and we can take this further. Mr. Shobanjo or Madam, I don't know, are allowed to talk? You said you have a comment. I don't know what happened. Yeah, can you speak now? I think I've unmuted you. Can you speak? Okay. How do we register? If you're talking about the program, please check our Instagram page in about an hour. We're going to put the poster up there. Okay, Adediji Taiwo has a question for you, Dr. Titus. Quickly, let me look for Adediji. Have you been unmuted? Okay, is this Shobanjo?
Yes, my Shobanjo, ma.
Okay, please tell us your age and before your question.
Okay, ma. I am 12 years old and I want to ask a question to Dr. Titus.
Okay.
Okay, I want to ask about the link of Dr. Titus' WhatsApp group. I want to ask about Dr. Titus' WhatsApp group.
Okay.
I want to ask about Dr. Titus' group.
Okay, I heard you, but I think it was Dr. Ebo that had a WhatsApp group. Dr. Titus, did you mention a WhatsApp group?
And also,
I did not.
Sorry, Dr. Ebo, ma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Ebo.
All right, Shobanjo, please send us an email so that I have your email address and I will share it with you. I put it already in the chat box, but if you're having problems getting it, please send an email to financecoachbk@gmail.com. financecoachbk@gmail.com. Yes, Dorcas has put it. Okay, Dorcas has put our Instagram.
I want to say a very big thank you. Finance Big K. I want to say a very, very big thank you to Finance Coach Big K.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you, Shobanjo. And please put your full names in your email.
Okay, ma.
All right.
Thank you, ma.
Take care. Quickly, I'll just take Adediji Taiwo and I'll let you go, Dr. Titus. It's been a long day for everyone. I'm looking for Adediji Taiwo. Yeah, allowed to talk. Ask to mute.
There's a question here from. Okay, right.
Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. So I just want to add that is there a real estate investment for a young people like me? Probably someone can just be saving 10,000 monthly, the money grows, or is it just that you won't have a huge amount of money before one starts to invest?
Did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard. So, if I heard that very well, she's saying, are there real estate investment that you can be putting in some little sums, if you don't have a big amount of money to maybe buy land or buy a house? All right. So, in Nigeria, I'm not aware of such entities. I mean, they may be, but again, you need to check. I don't know the pedigree of some of those firms that you can invest small money and over time. But in developed economies, so like in the UK stock market, we actually have the real estate investment trust. So it's similar to mutual fund. So you can buy small amount in real estate companies, and then whatever interest they generate, they will share to you as a dividend. So that means you're still investing in the real estate, though in small bits.
Thank you very much, Dr. Titus. Can you please send an email with that question? Because just like Dr. Titus, I don't have the specifics, but I do know that there are some REIT funds in Nigeria as well. I'm trying to get Engineer Nii to talk. I don't know what's happening. I've unmuted you, sir. Can you please say something and let us wrap up for the evening?
Okay, ma, so what do you want me to say? Sorry, I've been struggling with my network.
I want you to react to any of the questions or just thank Dr. Titus for us. I think it's okay, but you have engineer before your name. I wanted to say it's only you and I remaining that don't have doctor before our names. But my own qualifications are after my name. But you still have engineer before yours. So I guess we're not on the same level. So maybe you want to say thank you to Dr. Titus, or you just want to comment on any of the questions from the participants this evening.
Okay, I think I will start by talking about those who want to start with small amount of money. I think one of the things we've talked previously about is around investment clubs where people can pool resources together. I think that's something to explore. Dr. Ebo also talked about mutual funds. That also allowed people to start with with small amount of money, pulling resources together to be able to invest. I think that's something people can also explore. And on the question about people starting late, I think the best time to start is yesterday. The next best time is today. It's never too late to start. I mean, that you are thinking of starting means you are even ahead of so many other people. There are many people who have never even thought of doing anything about their future retirement plans or whatever. So that you are considering it, it does not matter how late you think it is, it's already a next start for you. So don't get too dejected and feel bad about it. No, the message is start now with whatever amount you have, just start now. And I think once you start, you know that you started the journey, and once you're on the right track, you know that you will get to the destination you want for yourself. And to Dr. Titus, a very big thanks to you. I was joking with Madam Bimbo that I'm going to be collecting pounds from you, since all your examples were in pounds. And for those of us who don't have pounds, but a very, very, very big thanks to you. I mean, you are able to connect with the people. You are able to give examples that we can all relate with. And I think that is really, really good for us. So a very, very, very big thanks. And I'm sure when next we call on you, you make yourself available again to be a blessing to us. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I can't wait for your session tomorrow. Dr. Titus, I know you have an annual program for young people, which includes coding, public speaking, things that go beyond finance. Do you want to quickly talk about the program? I think this year's one has held, but there is, you will have it again next year, right?
Yeah, so there are three key skills which I consider critical for success in the times we live in. Number one is financial literacy, some of the things we've shared, and all that other speakers will be talking about here. The next one is ICT skills. And then the third one is communication, speaking. So anybody that is able to combine these three, you are financially literate, you have IT background, and you can communicate well. I mean, there's no limit to you in life. So that's what we try to inculcate. So we have annual summer camp online, which we've been organizing since 2020, very successful. But as parents also demand that we keep learning, not only in summer. So we started a weekend program where we teach this. So we started this January, the first cohort for 6 months. From January, we finished in June. We're going to start another one in September 20th for the next 6 months, where we actually go deeper into this thing. And then this coming one, we're going to be looking at entrepreneurship, what you need to do, building your plan, building your product, marketing, and building a team. That's what we're going to be looking at. And then we also look at the digital skill. Last session, we look at Python, but now we just want to develop some basic skills in graphics design and video editing, which I consider some people, this is the background. If you want to start creating content, you need to be familiar with all these tools. We'll teach that, and then we'll also now look at the communication, interpersonal, and then the public setting. So that will start on the 20th of this month, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. I will get the details of that and I will share with my community. They're asking for your Instagram handle.
Okay.
But I also want you to share the website, the Innovation Academy Hub website. I was trying to get it, but because, so if you can put it in a chat box, because they will be able to read more about the academy on the website.
Okay, it's just Innovation Academy.
Okay.
One word, .org.
Innovation Academy.
One word. .org.uk.
Okay. Okay, you put it there already. Fantastic.
Maybe if I didn't put www, maybe.
Oh, okay. I was typing mine with www. Okay. So let's leave that. Is that innovationacademy.org.uk? Okay. How about your Instagram handle? Do you do Instagram?
I do Instagram. So you just see Titus.Udom.
Okay.
Titus.Udom.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Tomorrow we will start at 4 p.m. And honestly, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to to both sessions. The session with Engineer Nii, where we're going to have a guest speaker. I can't wait to listen to her experience. I know her story, but I know she's going to share much more details than I already know. And the gentleman who is in diaspora, Mr. Michael, I think, if you can be a part of all of the sessions, you won't regret it. I think Bola's story would also encourage you. You know, I won't let the cat out of the bag. How do they say it? Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. I want to thank everyone for being a part of this. I'm going to stop my camera now, and I will, yes, thank you, Matthias, and I will share the message from our sponsors again.
Okay, so thank you so much, Bimbo, for organizing this. Thanks. All right. Signing out.
Dr. Titus, yes.
Okay, bye.
I just wanted to share a message from Cardinal Stone. Thank you so much, especially to all those who were in the morning session. Tomorrow is just 2 modules, Sunday 2 modules. Abdurrashid Rodiat, Adedeji Taiwo, Adiola Olajumoke, Akende Mateus, Basil, Blessing Oji Uzo, Damike, Emmanuel, Esther Oyeleke. Please send us that email. Ezekiel Martha, Pamwa Gumfola Shade, Godwin Ishaku, Hassan Danladi, Igboke Kingsley, Jerry Matthew, Mark, Coach Mata, Nifi, Olatunji Glory, Olafijano, Olanike, Funke. Thank you so much for joining us, Oluwaseyi Adewumi, Ozoche Buka, Madam Roho, Rose Elachi, Escola Studio, Sunday Anjorin, Tinu Awe, Truth, and 2409BRN, whatever that device is. Now, it's important that when you join us, you put your full names so that we can, put you in the basket for the prize. Earlier on, I was talking to Coach Mata, and she said we should, as a community, be empowering at least 50 of the participants that are students. And so if 50, we will be giving out data, covering the cost of data for 50 students. So for people who joined all the modules today, and we join the modules on Saturday and Sunday, not only will you be eligible for the prize for students, if we are able to shortlist your name as those that attended all the sessions, then you get the money for your data back. We're going to give data money to 50 students. Apart from the Learn and Win for students, first prize 100K, second prize 50, and a third prize 20. I thank all my partners. I thank all the speakers. I thank all the facilitators. They're doing this free will, and I'm so grateful to God, and pray that God himself will honor you all of those facilitators. None of them is being paid. I thank our sponsors, Cardinal Stone. They're going to provide a winning prize for the entrepreneur, the person who is going to be able to demonstrate that they have a side hustle or they want to start a side hustle, and the person who will get the mentoring. So we're going to put the details and the requirements for this on our Instagram shortly. I want to thank Mr. Peter Olowu. I'm not sure if he was able to make this evening's session, but he has promised to give the consolation prize to 2 entrepreneurs who will also be part of the mentoring. There will be 5 consolation prizes. And these 5 people will also be opportunity to have business mentoring for the next 1 year, but also the financial prize for 2 of them, he said he would fund it. And that's how I roll. That's how I have good friends. Engineer Nii, Dr. Ebo, Dr. Titus, Dr. Charity in America, Shayo in Canada, all the speakers, everyone just supports this program. And honestly, it's always a testimony when we see people who say because they've attended this program, things are better for them. See you all tomorrow, and thank you for being a part of this community.